fine. You know, you need your Austin Healers in the team, don't you, to do things like that. Anyway, that was an irrelevance, really. And again, these are only numbers. Which players go there depends on their ability. I said we'll have 15 metres from left-hand side of the field and pack it with the whole of the back division, apart from one player who stood off the pitch on the other side of the field. How the defence going to handle that? And you can imagine, you know, in the middle of a game, you suddenly, and they run there very late, the defence looks up here, the traditional defenders there, they look up, it's nobody here. There's somebody over there, and I think he stood off the pitch, and there's 5 down that side of the field. What do we do? As the ball went in the scrum, it came to the number 8's feet, 15, that would be Jason Robinson, suddenly ran right on his own into that middle of the field, inevitably attracting this first guy, irrespective of what they put there. They probably put 2 players there to mark that. Inevitably attacking the, so you just attack down this channel. And if he doesn't come, then you back your best runner, maybe running this channel here. If you got one defender, 2 defenders, just to run a one-on-one straight from the base of the scrum. I think Robinson scored in Paris last year doing that. So that's where Bottle came from. But just be different, and obviously that leads into be part of the confrontational game. And again, this was a sort of, I felt, built-in part of the English game was when you talked about playing confrontational rugby, it meant sticking the ball under one arm, looking for the nearest tattle shield and running into it and trying to knock it out of the way. The confrontational part was also to be mentally confrontational, and that was by doing things totally different, or things that were completely opposite to what was expected. Like you run the ball from your own line, as England did against Scotland. So we're going to have a 7-man back move 5 metres from our own line. We'll just go for it because we know we've got the skills to do it. And we know that the defence we're playing against maybe isn't the best defence in the world, so you obviously pick your time to do it as well. Obviously, this is a key ingredient of any side. I mean, I think it's a bit of a cliche, but the side that plays with pace is the side that's hardest to defend against a lot. And it's pace to the we always try to be first to the set piece. Once the whistle went, that's when the pace kicked in, the pace of thought as well as action. Whistle gone, it's a scrum, we get there first. It's a line out, we dominate what's going to happen at the line out. We might arrive late at the line out, but when we get there, we're in, bang, ball in and gone. Contact area, obviously, just put the next bit up there. You know, we need to have a change of tempo in the contact area. We might want to play fast ball on the ground, a ball just before contact or offloading contact, but then to have the balance there, what we might need is a mini maul, the sort that the French do exceptionally well. After 3 or 4 phases, suddenly a big forward will pick a ball up, and 2 or 3, there must be a pre-call for this, will home in on this guy and just drive him straight through the defence around the back of the contact area. And they're exceptionally good at that. Again, that's not part of our game in England at all. And it'd be interesting to see which side could develop that first to keep that pace up, but the ball's off the ground and it's driven instead of slowly built up to a slow rolling spinning off maul. Obviously, one step ahead, all in part of being mentally challenging, playing differently, pace of thought, one step ahead of the opposition. And I just put that down for the players' benefit, that playing at pace in all those aspects is a real killer weapon. It's the one thing you can't defend against, very difficult to. And finally, I think you saw the player no fear environment. I felt it was really important that we created, I mean, we've got international players in the room here who played for England in the past, who I don't know whether they were part of that generation where they went out and thought, Jesus, if I don't play well today, make these mistakes, I might not get picked again. We've got to try and eliminate that environment altogether and say to the players, we want you to play. We've picked you because we want you to go out and play. We want you to be very positive. If you make the same mistake 6 times, you won't play next week, but we want you to be very positive, etc. So we gave them that, try to create that no fear environment. You can do what you feel is appropriate at any time in the game from anywhere on the pitch. And that was led by the philosophy, we can play to score from all areas. I actually banned, I don't know if it still is or not, I banned the word targets, playing targets, from the vocabulary altogether, because I just felt what it meant was an acceptance of defeat right from the start, that your attack sets off and the first thing you do is fail because you set a target. It might be that you don't break through, and say 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10 you don't, but you don't use the phrase play to a target, because immediately the players think, right, what I've got to do when I take the ball, I've got to run into Kevin Bowring and fall down, so I've set a target. You know, I mean, there's 30 odd of us here, including Helen and Carol, who could do that without any problem at all. I mean, that's not the sort of player we want playing at the top end of the game. And the other one was to use the whole of the pitch. That's play with the width and the depth. And I know it might be a very simplistic way of looking at it, but the pitch has got 7,000 square metres on it, and at any time there's 31 people on the pitch, each occupying 1 square metre. So there's 6,000 and God knows how many else square metres on that pitch completely unoccupied. So there's got to be space around somewhere. It's got to be. And just to illustrate that, just the last thing now, I said I was going to show some pro zone at the end. I've actually got here from the Ireland game last year. I put this in because I felt, the game was won by 40 odd points anyway. If you look at the try scoring opportunity, or the points, well, try scoring opportunities created here by using width on the game that were missed, there's probably another, well, how many clips are there? 7. Multiply with a kicker like Wilkinson, 7 times 7's 49, added to 48. The score could have been 97-0. Because he created all these opportunities and not one of them was taken, not one of them was recognised, the communication broke down or whatever was recognised. So if you just play the section, you can see each one as it goes through. So the ball goes out left, and look what's happening on the right, the Irish defence all flying across the field, these guys, and it really doesn't matter at this point who stood out here, because there's nobody within 25-30 metres, even a crap kick would produce a try. You've got your front 2 receivers in position, you can't go back on this. So same thing again, there's Austin Healy saying to the touch judge, I can't remember what it was, because he stood off the pitch there, number 14. But again, all these ended up in the attacks going into this area. I remember this one, it went 9, 10 and 2 and 5 took it up into that area. And if you look where the mass of the defence is, you know, I'll say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on 3. Okay. Another, the 5 metre syndrome. Once you get within 5 metres of the line, you've got to batter your way over. These 2 guys here just stood out completely on their own. I mean, there is no defender past the near post here, and when you've got a kicker like Wilkie in your team, it's one look up. Dead easy, could have walked, literally walked in a try. Go on. Similar sort of thing here, just to illustrate that it doesn't matter where you are on the field if you want to adopt your kicking to score game. I mean, that is pretty, it's quite frightening that, isn't it, for, I presume it's Phil Vickery, number 3 there. These guys out here, there is space to play anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against 1, 2, 3, 10 to 3. 3 biggest defenders in the opposition team stood there, and he runs straight into them. Watch the green, the little green things. Again, opportunity, that was, the players got caught too flat there. These guys were tackled here. But it's interesting to watch, so we can't play that back. You would have seen there, as these guys moved in from the touchline, these white players moved out. So as defence concertinas, the attack stretches. And again, you know, if you get a couple of good kickers in your team and play like that, and early on in the game, just put a few kicks in to the left and right there, maybe score, the defence will start stretching out all over the field to mark it, and that's when the holes open up for your better runners to holes down the middle of the field, the space between defenders. And just 2 more, I think. Oh, this was just, I think there's just an example of how not to use width. Ball taken in there. Number 12, Greenwood, stood on his own on the far touchline here. Ball goes from 9 to 13, and I stopped the game there because what do you think 13 did? Okay. The last one is another example of here, heel off the pitch again, 6-8, and again the ball went 9-10 and 2 and 5, hit the ball off 10's shoulder, because presumably that's by and large what they do when they play normally. So I just put that on there because I think it just shows, you know, in pretty graphic detail, the sort of opportunities that can be created, the way you can move a defence around, open up a defence, create opportunities if you do adopt the sort of structure that plays using the whole of the field. But it's interesting because I watched very carefully Premiership rugby at the start of the season, and a lot of sides are starting to play with a bit more width now. And the scenario, and hopefully I can get around to doing some coaching on it this afternoon. This sort of scenario, okay, put in these bloody pens. Seem to happen quite a lot, where you've got a, say, contact area there. You've got your 9. I'm just putting numbers down now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably left to attack against 4 defenders plus 1. And you know, the inability of sides to execute that. It happens a lot, a massive amount in the game, that. Where sides who play with it now get to this situation where we've got 7 runners, there's only 4 defenders, and yet, you know, the 4 defenders, because of poor choices, poor running lines, poor handling, execution, etc., the 4 defenders snuff out the 7-man attack. And I think, you know, to me, this is a big area of the game to really start working on. And what I'm going to do, well, if I get around to it this afternoon, I hopefully will, I've actually taken a bit of freedom away from players, and what I've been working on is having 2 flattish receivers. The first second line runner, I'll just put a number down here, playing on the outside shoulder of the second receiver, but 5 metres back. Then these guys, obviously they've got a bit of depth here because these lads are up front. The next 2, I'll just put 6 and 7, playing off 13. The reason I'm doing that is defensively, I reckon nearly every side in World Rugby now has got, there'll be a contact, a tattler there, someone who's made the tackle, there'll be an S, someone who's slowing the ball down, so someone's gone in from the defence to slow the ball down. You've probably got a sweeper, your number 9, you've got a guard here and a guard there, a bodyguard here, a bodyguard there. So if you don't put any more in that area, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 defenders inside what is 10 metre area. So I can't see the point, except obviously if the defence starts to spread out, and because you want balance in your game and you drive through the middle of the defence, I cannot see the point in even running any decoy runners down there, because these buggers won't move because the defensive coach just told them not to. You're a guard, you're the bodyguard, you bloody stay there. It doesn't matter if nobody's coming into your area of the field, because players love it, don't they? They go, I'm a guard, and wave to everybody, I am his bodyguard. Yeah, there's no attackers here, but I'm a guard and I'm his bodyguard. So the defence, by very definition, has got to be a lot thinner out there. So to me, the key now is to, if you've got a defender there, say you play, you get your 4 men out there with 1 at the back. These 3, in this sort of inverted triangle, play a 3-on-2 against these 2 guys here, just to hold them in there. And that should be pretty straightforward. And outside this, then 13, it should create a 4-on-2. Should create a 4-on-2. So, you know, I think where I coach on a regular basis now, then I would probably say, look, when we get to the broken field structure, when we get into this situation, these are the sort of positions as a second line of attack I think you ought to be taking up. Instead of just saying we want 2 lines of attack, we say, yeah, we want 2 lines of attack, but I want the first guy in the second line of attack, if he can, to get outside the second receiver's shoulder. So we're running nobody down this channel at all, because even option runners there would be wasted runners. I think. Does that look logical, or is that just complete bloody fantasy land? Complete fantasy land. Well, thank you very much. Got an early lunch now. From the centre spot over here. Just come round, attackers and defenders, so we know exactly what's happening. What I want to do now is trying to build up from a 15-man point of view the two concepts I was talking about. First of all, 4 players in the contact area, all right, ball carrying 3 others and keeping the width on the field. And how I'm going to do that is we're going to start off from all 15 of you start from over here, that's a scrum half and the other 14 guys in a little group, and we play a 3-on-2 against 2 defenders. So if there's 2 defenders here, you used to stand side by side, they'll be a lot further apart than that. I'm the third runner, I get the ball here, so I run into the hole here because you guys will be over there. I stop, 4 players in the contact area, then we play another 3-on-2 against the next 2 defenders. Third guy goes into the hole, stops, 4 there. It'll be a 2-on-1 because we've only got 5 defenders against the outside man. Okay, and again we get 4 attackers into that contact area. As soon as that ball gets into that contact area and the 4 men there, it goes back 9 to 10. So 10 and 9. Make sure you're not in that far contact area over there. And 10, you kick it back across the field to score. All right? You just kick it back across the field to score. That's all you've got to do. Play 3-on-2, 3-on-2, 2-on-1, kick it back to score. It's as simple as that. Now that should start ringing a few alarm bells in your heads about what you do after you've been in the first contact area. Okay, where we need players, because we know we're going to kick to score from that side over here. All right? So giving enough clues now. Yeah? We're the same width that we've just been playing in. Yeah, you two about here. About here. First man on me, yeah. You're a bit wider. Second 2, same, but go further back. About here. About here. Okay, and you're the 1 man on your own over there. Right, so you know what you're doing, lads. We'll play this through. Let's make sure we execute this correctly. Remember, you're going on inside shoulders of these guys to pull them away. So we've got a hole here for a player to go into. Then repeat the exercise. Just go through it at an easy running speed to start with. You get the organisation right, and then we'll speed it up as we go along. Okay, when you're ready, lads, off you go. 1, 2, 3. We've still got a 2-on-1. Still got a 2-on-1. 4 in. And score it. Okay. Let's go back, lads, and play it again. Now we know what the organisation is. Go back, play it again. Okay. What I'm trying to do is to get them into the concept of putting 4 players in the contact area, but also keeping the width. So we play 3-on-2, 4 into contact, 3-on-2, 4 into contact, 2-on-1, 4 into contact, and to make sure they've kept the width, I've said 9 gives it to 10 and just kicks it without looking straight back across the field. So we know we've kept players in this channel out wide over here. Some good lads here, Rob, aren't there? But when you're ready, lads, don't wait for me. Let's come up flat, come up flat, come up flat. Still need 4 in. Hey, put a bit of welly on it this time. That's good, make sure you score it. And put it down. Well done, okay, let's change. 5 attackers in for 5 defenders in your positions. We'll play from the other side, play right to left and work it back again. Can I just stress one thing from an attacking point of view? You've done it really well so far, and that is to make sure that the first receiver takes the ball flat and really fixes his first defender, okay, in every sense. You know, when you're defending, probably part of your system will be pointing and shouting at players, is that right? Well, just mentally do the same thing as a first receiver. Almost say to the defender, you're going to have to tackle me. All right, because I'm coming straight at you. There's nowhere you can go. So we're keeping that space on the outside for other players. All right, really pin him down with your eyes. Yep. Good. Get up there, get up there. Good lines. Okay. Just one more time. Let's go back again. Just one more time. We've got the idea of this, so we can move on.
Yeah, 10 left, 10 left.
Good hands. Well done. Good ball. Got to go earlier than that. Okay, well done. We're short of players. Bye. Bloody hell, 4 on 1 and the 1-1. Okay, just come in, lads. I'll just ask a question. Where else could you kick that ball from that may make it easier to score on the outside? Where else could you kick it from? Which other position? 12, yeah. 12's probably a better one, because what will it do? If it goes 9, 10, 12, the outside guys think, shit, they're going to run this, he's going to step up, and then the ball can go in behind him. Okay, well, we might do that as we go through. Okay, we'll change again, 5 for 5, and now we're going to play 15v5 across the field and back again. Okay, 15v5 across the field and back. There's no kicking involved. You're back to what we started with now. We're playing on a part, except you're now playing with a bit of opposition. We're still 4 into the contact area, 2 flat receivers, a man on either side, just 2 widths of this, and then we'll move on again. Okay? Yeah. A play between, we'll stay in this same area for the time being, it's not a problem. Play between the halfway line, the 22-metre line. 15 against 5 now. I've asked them to put 4 into the contact area. Number 9 bosses that. We don't play until there's 4 in. If there's 5 in, you kick one out. Okay, it's a mental thing that. 4 into the contact area. 2 first receivers playing pretty flat. Okay, whoever you are. And a player either side on the 22-metre line and the halfway line, which are our touch lines. And we're just going to be playing against a defence of 5 now. So now they've got to start thinking about things in front of them, as well as the space out wide as well, because you've got players to combat. It's just grip. All right, get behind you. When you're ready, off you go.
Look where the defence is.
Look where the defence is.
Yeah, mark him, mark him. Which one, Wales? What do you want?
Good line. Get in on him quickly. Go on, through you go and score it, score it. Well done, lads. Once you're through the hole big time like that, let's flood the support through and just run it in and score. That's great, well done. Change the defenders, change defenders. Just listen, lads, just one thing. I've not mentioned this and I'm not bothered at the moment because it's not that relevant, to be honest, because there's only 5 defenders. But everything you do, I think, has got to be led to players looking to play to where the space is. There was just one example, I think, right at the start of the practice down there, where one side of the pitch was wide open, there were no defenders in at all, and you played down the narrow channel, which was packed with defenders. Now, it's not a big issue at the moment because it's practice, but to me, it's important that every time you come out, you think about this play to space philosophy, so you don't have to keep running into opposition players. There's loads of space on a pitch, 7,000 square metres on a rugby field. There's only 30 out of those 7,000 occupied at any one time. So there's 6,970 square metres empty all the way through every game. So don't ever listen to anybody who says there's no space in the modern game. There's bloody loads of it. It's a question of looking for it and finding it. Okay, are we ready then? That's good. Off you go.
Space wide, Mama, space wide! Space wide! Fix him, Ollie. If you want to fix inside.
Come on, keep it up. Well, go, great line at the end. Excellent, well done lads. Well done lads. That was an interesting one, that last one. Who shouted space right? Did you? And what happens as soon as you shouted that? All the defenders came flying across, and where was the space ultimately? It was on the left here, and we still played right. So have you got a communication system for a... I mean, it's just an issue. I'm not here to put one in place. It's just an issue that if you play with this sort of width, you know, when you get onto the full pitch, there's inevitably there's going to be players on the outside unmarked. The key thing is to be able to communicate that to the guys in field, all right, without shouting. Because as soon as you shout, the defence sees it as well. You don't want to be communicating for them as well. Okay? Okay? Any issues? Everybody happy so far? That's good. All right. Can I just ask you a question then? Just ask you a question. If that ball's a contact area, where are the 5 in red bibs? If the yellow guys come this side of me, there's a contact area, okay? If you were defending in a normal team, okay, one of your guys is tattled, say one's gone in to slow the ball. I'm here to slow the ball down. I'm not getting down the bloody floor. I'm too old, so I'll never get up again. All right. Do you have a guard? Yeah. Where? Side of the rook? Yeah. You have a guard here? Yeah. Do you have a bodyguard? Yeah. Where are you? There. Bodyguard? Okay, so we've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you play with the sweeper?
Play with the scrum guy outside, guard half ball.
Right, okay. So the scrum half's behind. So we've got a 9 behind here, right? So we've immediately we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players there, defenders. Fullback, 8 out of the equation. You've got a half guard or whatever you call it there. So that's 8, 9. 9 players in what sort of width here? 10 metres. At least 60 metres with 6 players defending in it. Right, I've just been watching a couple of times as you come down here, you've been running players back into this channel here. Yeah? Between 9 and 10. Putting players back into that channel. Just explain to me, given what you see in front of you now, the logic of that. It's only a thought. I can understand it. If they start spreading wide, where would you play? You'd play straight through the middle, wouldn't you? You'd lift it up and drive it, or pick and go and scatter them, or play down here. But if they get that defensive system in place, do you necessarily need to even run decoy runners into this area? Because where are these guys going to go? They won't move, will they? Because your job is, as defenders, to stay here, isn't it? Not to go. If nobody runs that, you still stay here as guard and bodyguard, don't you? You don't go anywhere because you've been told not to. So it's just a thought that when you play through again now, we'll just do 2 more widths and just be aware of that. Let's see if we can play the ball off number 12. I've runners coming off 12 and nobody off 10. Okay, just see how we get on. Don't panic if it, you know, you get lost to start with. All right, see how we go. Okay, change round again. Just trying to change the emphasis just for these 2, where the runners and the play comes off number 12, not off number 10. So we're now playing off 12, second receiver. Play it on, they knocked it on, take it forward. Good, well done, excellent. Go on, score it then. Bloody hell, it might be the only try you get this season. Excellent. I said score it. Might be the only time you score this season. So make sure you put it down. Just change defenders one more time. Tell you what lads, there's a lot more rhythm to that than before. Because a lot of the time before it was going 1 pass out, 1 pass in again, stop. 1 pass out, 1 in, stop. There, the whole width of the 15 players was being used, a lot more. Just think from a defensive point of view, if they have a guard or bodyguard either side of the ruck, and a half guard or whatever you call it, and a sweeper and a fullback, how bloody exposed are you going to be in the 13 channel if you've got 5 or 6 players running at you, runners coming off 12? It's not going to be easy to defend in that area. Okay? Still, runners off 12 again. Are you ready? Sorry, start again. We don't have to be clever, lads. Just play simple rugby. Just play simple rugby. We got lost here too. That would have been a turnover. That you only had 3 players in that contact area, so you are not doing your job. You got to boss the contact area. There were only 3 men in. You still played. Let's not try and be clever. Just keep it simple. Okay, when you're ready, off you go. Play on. Good line. Run it in. Once you're through, you're in. Well done. Okay, go and grab a drink, lads. Have you changed? Are these the same defenders who just defended that width with the red bibs on? Yeah, just change over again, but I only need 4 defenders this time because I've got to change the whole nature of the practice. Okay, I want to work on something else now. What I want to work on is the second line of the runners, the second line attacking runners. Okay, we use this as a try line here because that's a bit close to the all that over there. The width of the pitch now is only 10 metres wide. It's 10 metre line to halfway line. Try line, 5 metre line here. You're going to be playing 3 on 2, but in a specific way that I'm going to dictate. Okay, and then we'll put that into the game. Right, so if we shift this out of the way. Thank you very much. If all the attacking side can come out here, the scrum halves. In fact, we'll have 2 scrum halves. Can we get a few balls out? Say 4 or 5 balls over there with 1 scrum half, and 4 or 5 balls over there just outside the 10 metre area with another scrum half. Have we got another scrum half? You got 2 of you? Yeah. Well, only 2 will do. Don't need 3. Just stay here. Yeah, we'll play. You're playing in groups of 3. So get yourselves in groups of 3. You're playing in groups of 3.
Yeah, first 3 up. Yeah, I'm with you.
Defending inside the 10 metre area. You have 2 in defending and 2 out. Okay. So when the attacks come through, then you 2 go out and you 2 step in. So we're playing. Okay. All I'm looking for. Try and picture this in a 15-a-side game. All I'm looking for is 10 and 12. Up flat here. Yeah. Are you? What are you? You don't go in front, playing this side, sorry. Oh, my fault, yeah. Right, you're the second line of attack, but I want you, it's to stand outside 12 shoulder. Now, it's very simple what I'm asking you to do. You'll do this all the time, I don't think. You just play a straightforward crossover, if that's what you call it, do you? You take an outline, you up and out, you go out and back in down the middle. You've got to make a decision depending on where that defender goes, whether you hit the man coming down the middle or you hit the man going on the outside. Okay, it's as simple as that, and as difficult as that. Remember, a key issue here will make that you keep sufficient depth and you don't come too early so that it blocks his line of vision. But that, no, he's coming in the hole. As he steps out, as he goes up and steps out here, if this defender goes with him, it's your choice whether you go with him or leave him, then you step in. At the moment he comes out is the moment you come in. Okay, not before that. Right, if he stays there, then we've got to make sure that you don't come too early so it blocks that pass out to the outside man. It's as simple as that. You're all going to do it. First one from the right, next one from the left, then from the right, then from the left. Okay, so get yourselves organised, ready to go. Okay, lads, off we go. Okay, working on the left. But wait a minute, whoa, 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 let's get this right. You're the runner, are you?
Are we playing off the same side every time?
No, we play this side now. You should be back here.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. You ready? Alright, too late. Come on.
It doesn't matter, does it? Get Ed, come in a bit.
Yeah, not much choice there because our third runner's still here. Hang on a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's just get ourselves organised. When the 3 are ready, then we'll play. Okay?
Yeah, hit me.
I say it's just the timing that's wrong at the moment. Okay, maybe the second line runner's too deep. Okay. Lots of interesting variation. He ran without the ball. Ah. Some clever defending. It's a tester here, Pete. Hell no. Are you ready? Good. Oh. Just take the ball with you next time. Now we've done it. Okay.
Hit me there. Hit me.
Good. Excellent. Okay. I don't know whether you watch or not in training, but it's amazing what you can pick up from your teammates. The last two have been absolutely perfect in that the first receiver has gone almost right up to the player, then almost held off him, and actually pulled the defenders towards him and bought himself a bit of time so he knows which run he can hit. The other times they're doing it, the first receiver's running right up here, completely out of control, and the whole thing had happened before he got a chance to react. Okay, so first receiver, off you go up there, and then just buy yourself that bit of time. That was fantastic. That last one was excellent. Right, let's go. Good, well done. Don't like the pass, a bit floated and whatnot. It looks as though you're frightened to death of giving it, but it was good. Good, well done. Right, yeah, don't go past him. Don't go past him. Good, that's a good line. You got on his inside arm, that's good. Just one more, we'll change defenders. Good, well done. Change defenders. Blimey, 100% success rate now. That's a kiss of death. Let's go through it a couple times more. Okay, he wasn't there. Try and buy yourself if you can. I know somebody as big as you could probably get round him. Good, you're in. Fantastic. Oh, it's okay, I don't mind that line there. That's okay. Get on his shoulder. Good. Well done. More of an inside line than an outside one. Try and cut the middle. Good line. Okay, that's fine, lads. In you come. Let's have 15 on 5 again, playing two widths across the field. Let's now put that into the game. Put that, just that little bit into the game. So it doesn't matter, lads. Just listen, it doesn't matter how long it takes to get organised for this. That is not an issue at the moment, it's an organisational thing. The more comfortable you become with it, and the more you start to understand where your position is, then we can speed it up, but that's not a problem. All right, just make sure we get the organisational bit right first. Right, when you're ready. Didn't see that. Haven't seen it, haven't seen it. Finish it off. Whoa. Okay. Went through the whole attack there and not one slice. And I thought we were doing it every contact area. Change the defenders. Just slow everything down.